Well, hello and welcome back. And a huge thank you for coming back. Where am I? That's what you're wondering. Mandalay Beach on a spectacality of a day indeed. A little bit breezy, to be honest. Winter is certainly starting to share its love with the island of love. Of course, this is Cyprus. Today's topic, cost of living in Cyprus. Quite a few people message via WhatsApp, and one or two have asked how much money are they going to need if they come and relocate to live in Paphos, Cyprus. Now, it's a great question, isn't it? And there's many, many different answers. So I'm going to try and give you a ballpark figure. Obviously, some people are going to live on a tighter budget, and perhaps some people have got a budget, well, beyond the capabilities of most of us, shall we say. So some people possibly could come and live in Cyprus and live on 12,000 euros per annum. Some people will spend 60,000, 100,000 euros per annum on their lifestyle. But I think what most people who ask the question, how much money do I need to live in Cyprus, what they mean is to have a decent lifestyle, probably to be able to pay all of their household bills, have a nice little car, be able to pay the insurance, the road tax, pop a bit of liquid fuel into that tank now and again, pop out and buy a hot latte, perhaps go out for dinner once a week and perhaps lunch once or twice in a week. So the figures I'm talking about are going to apply to those people. So people who are certainly not short of money, shall we say, but their pockets are not filled to the rafters, shall we say. Or perhaps they are, but they don't want to spend it all. So that figure is going to be around about 30,000 euros. You heard me correctly, 30,000 euros, which is approximately, if you're watching from the UK, 25,000 pounds. That's what you're going to need to have a comfortable lifestyle in Cyprus. And I understand that many people are going to be shouting at the screen saying, no, you don't need that much. Well, in my opinion, if you want to have a relaxed lifestyle, like I say, cover all of your bills, have a nice little car, pay the insurance, road tax, not worry about too much things like tyres when you need to buy them, popping your aircon on when you want it, popping the heating on when you want it, these kind of things. Going out for lunch a couple of times a week, going out for a meal, let's say on a Friday or a Saturday, and not thinking about it when you want to buy perhaps a pint or a glass of wine or a nice hot latte. So let's break those figures down. Most people are going to go to a supermarket and they're going to buy food for the week, aren't they? So they're going to buy apples and bananas and cucumbers and tomatoes and the normal things that you buy in a supermarket: cheese, sliced ham, a bit of pork, perhaps a bit of chicken, some eggs, some milk, some bread, some rice, some pasta, all of the things that are going to keep you nourished throughout the week. And of course, a little bit of Weetabix perhaps, or some Ready Brek. Do you remember Ready Brek? Yes, well, you can still buy it in the supermarkets if you fancy it. And perhaps some crisps and some chocolate Twixes, those kind of things for that little treat on an evening. So let's say you go once a week to the supermarket and you're spending quite freely, shall we say. You should expect when you get to the nice girl on the till with that big smile and she asks you if you've got your bonus card to get your bonus points, and they do add up, by the way. Your bill on a weekly basis I would anticipate to be between 150 and 200 euros per week. Some weeks perhaps a little bit less, and of course some weeks a little bit more when you're topping up the mayonnaise and the tomato ketchup, those kind of things, or perhaps that sneaky little bottle of wine that you fancy on that Saturday night when you're curled up watching the little channel known as Marika and Me. Now, can I ask you for a little favour? Lots of people are joining the channel, they're hitting the like button and they are subscribing to the channel, and we do thank you very, very much indeed. But a lot of people are watching the channel and they are not subscribed to the channel. It doesn't cost you a single penny to subscribe to the channel. It doesn't cost you a single penny to hit that thumbs up, that like button. And it doesn't cost you a single penny to write down a comment or two either. It just tells YouTube that you like what you've seen, and perhaps they should recommend this little channel known as Marika and Me to more like-minded people like yourselves. What do you think of that view in the background, by the way? I'm saying it's a little bit blustery today, but there is the view of that blue Mediterranean Sea. We are heading into the afternoon and we can see it's a little bit chopsy in that Mediterranean Sea. There's a little bit of froth, a little bit of cappuccino whizzing up, isn't there? There we are. Forgive the hedge. There we are. Another great view out across that horizon. Fabulous, isn't it? Absolutely fabulous. Now, if you stick with me till the end of the video, I will take you down to the water's edge. And remember, we are in the middle of November. So there's a little bit of buffeting, but the temperature, if you are curious to know, is around about 25 degrees. And you may have noticed that I am still in a short sleeve t-shirt and I'm not cold at all. So another great reason to come to Cyprus. Anyway, back to the cost of living. Many people around the world, in the UK in particular, complain about their electric bill, their heating bills, these kind of things. So what is the average cost, you're thinking? Let's say you lived in a 2-bedroom apartment or a 2-bedroom townhouse or a 2-bedroom bungalow, something like that in Cyprus. What could you expect to be your monthly electricity bill? Well, electricity bills in Cyprus come out every 2 months. But on a monthly basis, you could expect to pay around about 100 euros. In many cases, many people pay a lot less if they're out and about walking and all these kind of things, and some people might pay a little bit more. But many properties now in Cyprus have actually got free electricity. They've got the photovoltaic, if that's how you say it, systems installed. So perhaps if you're renting a property when you move to Cyprus, you might want to hunt for one of those properties that's going to provide you with almost free electricity. But even if it hasn't, you can expect an electricity bill on average of approximately 200 euros per month. A little bit less, perhaps at certain times of the year, and a little bit more at other times of year. So 200 euros per 2 months, so 100 euros per month for your electricity. Water bill. How much is my water going to cost me? Well, again, it depends on lots of things, doesn't it? Do you shower 3 times a day? How many people are in the household? And those kind of things. But a normal couple who are living, again, in a 2-bedroom apartment, a 2-bedroom townhouse or a 2-bedroom bungalow can expect their water bill every 3 months, and the actual cost will be approximately 50 to 60 euros per every 3 months, per quarter. Okay, so that's your water bill, approximately. So that works out at 20-ish euros per month. Electricity, 100 euros per month. Water bill, 20 euros per month. Yes. What's the next most important thing that you would need in your life? Internet, because of course you would want to watch this little channel known as Marika and Me. So you're going to need internet, aren't you? Now, internet packages vary onto the bandwidth and of course the quantity of data that you will require. But as a rule of thumb in your property, you'll be paying between 20 and 40 euros per month for the internet that you require and the telecommunications and so forth. Talking about telecommunications, we go on to, of course, mobile phones, or smartphones as they're called today, aren't they? Because they're much, much smarter than me, that is for sure. So, a mobile phone contract. Again, there's 1 or 2 big players out there and they're having a bit of a scrap at this time of year, offering special discounts to people like yourselves. So, let's just say the one I saw the other day was $14.99. That's euros, by the way. So that's just over a tenner a month, and you get quite a lot of data, unlimited minutes and unlimited texts within Cyprus. So that's not a bad deal. So if there's 2 of you, budget 30 to 40 euros per month for your mobile phone and data package, communications and so forth. So other costs of living that you're going to have in Cyprus, what are they? Eating out, going for that lunch, that breakfast, those drinks and that special occasion perhaps on the Friday or the Saturday night. What should you budget? Well, if you're going to a mid-range restaurant, with quality food for 2 people with, let's say, a bottle of wine or a couple of drinks each, I would budget with a starter and a main around about 60 to 70 euros. In some cases it will be less if you go to more upmarket restaurants, or should we say very, very prominent locations like the Paphos Harbour. That bill will range around 80 to 100 euros. So very, very affordable, shall we say. Let's say you're going out for breakfast once a week. Let's say you went to a very, very popular venue, Tea for Two. They've got 3 locations in Paphos. For the breakfast, you would pay, without extras, this is, just under 6 euros. So, a pot of tea on top of that. 2 of you, you're going to walk out of that restaurant and leave a very nice tip and part with 20 euros. Yes. So breakfast for 2, tea for 2, at Tea for 2, whether it's on Tomb of the Kings, in the harbour area, or on the Hotels Road in Paphos, is going to cost you just under 18 euros for 2 people. And a nice little tip, because the service is very, very good indeed. So 20 euros all in. So very affordable figures, or I believe they are, and many, many people that I talk to tell me that compared to many, many Northern European countries, and in particular the UK, the figures that I'm talking about are bargains. Now, we all know that you can go hunting around and get a cheaper breakfast in Cyprus, and of course in the UK. Of course you can. But I'm on about ease of use. So the average breakfast, 6-7 euros, with a pot of tea or a drink, 10 euros per head, including your drink, including your toast and your marmalade and your bit of butter, etc, etc. So breakfast, 10 euros a head. Evening meal, somewhere around 30 to 50 euros per head, starter, main and drinks. Remember, drinks I'm including as well. Supermarket shop, 150 to 200 euros per month. Electricity, 100 euros per month. Water, 20 to 30. Internet, 20 to 30. Mobile phone, 15 euros. Let's add it all up comfortably with a little bit of chump change spending around now, your car insurance, putting petrol into the tank, and those little expenses that we've not talked about. You should budget 2,000 euros per month. If you can budget that, you're going to live very, very well indeed. I said at the start 30,000 euros. So if you can budget 30,000 euros per annum, you are going to live a fantastic life in Cyprus. You're going to have the time of your life. You're going to be eating and drinking and socializing and making new friends. And on top of all of that, spending a lot of time outdoors. And as promised, here we go. We're going to walk down to the blue Mediterranean Sea, and you're going to start to understand why so many people are making contact with ourselves, of course, via the website marikaandme.com, via email relocatetopaphos@gmail.com, and of course telephone and WhatsApp, which is in the description on this little video. Why not reach out and ask us a question? Reach out and schedule that WhatsApp call and ask those direct questions that are important to you. And we'll do our very, very best to help, to answer. And of course, if you make the decision to come and join us on the island of love, come and live in Cyprus, we can hold your hand along the way. We can guide you and source you that perfect rental apartment, townhouse or villa. We can make it fit your budget. We can organise that hire car. We can source that car that you are looking to buy. And of course, we can guide you with the banking regulations and how you open a bank account when you come to Cyprus. And of course, take you through the process of the immigration, holding your hand along the way, making everything very, very easy and taking all of your problems and all of your troubles away. Feast your eyes and digest the beauty and of course the spectacality of the little area known as downtown Mandrea Beach, downtown Paphos on the island of love, Paphos, Cyprus. Huge thank you for watching. Hopefully you'll join me again very, very soon indeed. And don't forget to drop in the comments, what would you like me to talk about next? I don't think that it can get much better than that.